No one can be a sound judge if he does not give due weight to convincing suspicions. The countenance is the portrait of the soul, and the eyes mark its intention. Wisdom is the only thing which can banish sorrow from the breast. Thus, nature has no love for solitude, and always leans, as it were, on some support, and the sweetest support is found in the most intimate friendship. If you have a library in your garden, everything will be complete. Endless money forms the sinews of war. The good life is impossible without a good state, and there is no greater blessing than a well-ordered state. A man of faith is also full of courage. Though silence is not necessarily an admission, it is not a denial either. The mind becomes accustomed to things by the habitual sight of them, and neither wonders nor inquires about the reasons for things it sees all the time. A mind without instruction can no more bear fruit than can a field, however fertile, without cultivation. Life is nothing without friendship. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. Why do you insist the universe is not a conscious intelligence when it gave birth to conscious intelligences? Every man can tell how many goats or sheep he possesses, but not how many friends. Freedom is participation in power. Your enemies can kill you, but only your friends can hurt you. For what I lack in innings, I make up for in diligence. The purpose of education is to free the student from the tyranny of the present. Memory is the treasury and guardian of all things. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. I criticize by creation, not by finding fault. We forget our pleasures, we remember our sufferings. The extreme of right is the extreme of wrong. No power on earth, if it labors beneath the burden of fear, can possibly be strong enough to survive. Love is the attempt to form a friendship inspired by beauty. A home without books is a body without a soul. Silence is one of the great arts of conversation. If we are not ashamed to think it, we should not be ashamed to say it. Art is born of the observation and investigation of nature. To study philosophy is nothing but to prepare oneself to die. A happy life consists in tranquility of mind. Time obliterates the fictions of opinion and confirms the decisions of nature. Dogs wait for us faithfully. A man of courage is also full of faith. The life of the dead is set in the memory of the living. It is the peculiar quality of a fool to perceive the faults of others and to forget his own. It is a great thing to know your vices. Knowledge which is divorced from justice may be called cunning rather than wisdom. My conscience has more weight for me than the opinion of the life given us by nature is short, but the memory of a well-spent life is eternal. We must not only obtain wisdom, we must enjoy her. Friendship improves happiness and abates misery by doubling our joys and dividing our grief. Nature herself has imprinted on the minds of all the idea of God. The closer the collapse of the empire, the crazier its laws are. The reward of friendship is friendship itself. Times are bad. Children no longer obey their parents, and everyone is writing a book. The function of wisdom is to discriminate between good and evil. Ability without honor is useless. The authority of those who teach is often an obstacle to those who want to learn. No power is strong enough to be lasting if it labors under the weight of fear. We are all servants of the laws in order to be free. The fruit of too much liberty is slavery. Our span of life is brief, but is long enough for us to live well and honestly. The welfare of the people is the highest law. He only employs his passion who can make no use of his reason. We must not say every mistake is a foolish one. If you would abolish covetousness, you must abolish its mother, profusion. Kindness is stronger than fear. The face is a picture of the mind with the eyes as its interpreter. Trust no one unless you have eaten much salt with him. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. The wise are instructed by reason, average minds by experience, the stupid by necessity, and the brute by instinct. Law applied to its extreme is the greatest injustice. There is nothing so absurd that some philosopher has not already said it. For the whole life of a philosopher is, as the same philosopher says, a meditation on death. To be content with what we possess is the greatest and most secure of riches. What an ugly beast is the ape, and how like us. Old age, the crown of life, our play's last act. The enemy is within the gates. It is with our own luxury, our own folly, our own criminality that we have to contend. I do not understand what the man who is happy wants in order to be happier. Hatreds not voiced, but which are concealed, is to be feared more than those openly declared. Nobody can give you wiser advice than yourself.